Welcome to Football for Fun. Please hit the subscribe button below the video so that you can support the channel and we can crank out more content. Now, enjoy the show.
Geno Smith and Daniel Jones got extended, and Lamar Jackson got franchise tag. Now, Geno Smith's contract, it was 3 years, 105 million, but some of it is like incentives and stuff like that. Daniel Jones was 4 years, 160, right?
Right, yeah.
And again, some of it's like incentives or whatnot. And Lamar Jackson, I believe his non-exclusive franchise tag is at 34 million for the year.
It's something like that. I thought it was 32, but like it's in that
Yeah.
range.
Right. So basically, what this means, Geno Smith and Daniel Jones, they got extended. That's good. I think that's pretty, self-explanatory.
It's like good for
Whereas,
them. That's great.
yeah, good for them. Whereas Lamar Jackson, he got the non-exclusive franchise tag, which means that, and just to recap, I think this was a question anyway, how the franchise tag works, which is basically it's someone's contract, it's a player's contract expiring, and if you want to keep them for at least another year, but you don't know if you want to commit to them long term, then you can tag them. That means that you just get to keep them for another year. And for that year, you have to pay them like the salary of like the average of like a top 5 or 10 player in their position or something like that. I forget exactly what it is. And basically, it's a way that you can keep a player for another year without committing to them long term. Now, you might be wondering, like, Lamar Jackson's so good. Like, wouldn't the Ravens commit to him long term? Well, it's complicated because Lamar Jackson is asking for a boatload of money. I mean,
He wants it all guaranteed too. That's the deal breaker.
exactly.
He's
Yeah, and
worth the
like
money. He's not worth it guaranteed, is what teams are saying.
exactly. And like I don't think like a lot of owners easily just have like however much money, like was it 250, 300, something like that,
Yeah,
like
something like
guaranteed.
that.
Like so I think to offer it guaranteed, you have to like have that cash on hand. And like these billionaire owners, they don't even like probably have it, or they'd have to like get it or something like
Well,
that.
even if
Cause
they have it, it's not really smart business to give up that
yeah,
much
and like I mean,
guaranteed.
I'm no like finance expert, but like I think with like billionaires and stuff like that, a lot of their wealth is from like assets and stuff like that. It's like land and just
Yeah.
property stuff like that. So it's not like I mean, it's not like they can just like write a $300 million check right now. So all that to say, it's a complicated situation, and the non-exclusive franchise tag is where any team Lamar's allowed to negotiate with with other teams on like a deal, and the Ravens have, if a deal is negotiated with like Lamar and some other team, the Ravens could match it, and if they don't, that other team gets to sign them. They would trade 2 1s for Lamar. Does that sound accurate?
Yep. That's accurate.
Awesome. So
But teams aren't
basically,
wanting to sign him though. Like there's no rush here because his market is so like, he's asking for so much. So like the owners don't want to give him a guaranteed contract. They don't want to normalize that. And you can thank Cleveland for
definitely.
starting this at all with Deshaun Watson, which was pretty stupid of them, but whatever. Um, so owners don't want to normalize that, so they're not in a rush to give Lamar Jackson all this guaranteed money. I think if he wasn't asking for all of it guaranteed, he'd probably have a deal right now.
Definitely. I would say 100%. And like, yeah, a lot of people, former players, even like JJ Watt, they're all like dissing the Ravens for being so disrespectful to Lamar. And I'm like, it's about guaranteed money. It's literally business. Like, I can't just like, I don't, some of these owners don't have the money, like literally. Like, I mean, I don't know about the Ravens owner specifically, but we were talking about this earlier. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense, especially since, I mean, it's not like he's Mahomes. If Lamar's literally the best quarterback of all time, you do it probably. You find out a way, but he's like, I don't know, maybe like the fifth or fourth best quarterback on a good day, and
I mean,
like he
he's
also
up
gets
there.
hurt.
He's an MVP quarterback, and he's a winner. He's won a lot of games. I think his record's like 45-16 since he's entered the league. So like
Right,
he's definitely one of the top quarterbacks in the league. But the way he
right,
plays the game is also a concern, right? You could see him get injured as early as week 1 next season just because of a bad run. And then he's out for the year,
right.
and then you've already committed all this money to him, and you're like, what do we do now? It's not a situation you want to be in.
Yeah, and he has injury history. I mean, he missed the playoff, or
Yeah,
the
he
Ravens
missed the
didn't miss the
playoff game
playoffs, but
last season.
exactly, yeah, he didn't play in the playoffs. He missed some games the year before, I believe, as well. So it just, for all these people who are saying like the disrespect, it's just very complicated. And I would just say like, let's just see it play it out and just like see what happens. I mean, if some team is insane enough to like just give him the money and like, just sign him, then good for them. But it's going to be very difficult to do. I think he'll be a Raven next year, or this coming season. I
Yeah,
don't really think
I think he stays in Baltimore.
Yeah, that's probably will be the case, and then they could franchise tag him a second time, right? But it would be like even more money,
Yeah, the price would go up, I think.
right? So like, yeah, I think I heard. I could be like totally inaccurate, but I think it's like first franchise tag would be like 30, which is what it is now. Second might be like 50, and third might be like 70 for the year. Which, if you're talking about paying a quarterback 70 million for a year, that's just like
Right,
insane.
yeah.
But
No, that's a lot
anyway,
of money.
yeah, we will keep that in mind. Are there any more like Lamar notes that we need to make? Because I think we covered it pretty
We,
well.
we, we got it all covered. I guess we could talk about where we think he may go if he doesn't stay in Baltimore, but we both think he's going to stay in Baltimore next season, so.
Yeah. Um,
Thank you for
yeah,
the follows,
definitely.
Nimzo and Precision Guessworks. Appreciate that.
Sup, guys? Nimzo, if you're in the chat, we're talking about Lamar. I mean, you probably know by now, but feel free to give us your thoughts. I mean, this is like, we're not trying to pay attention to the chat too much, but also it's you guys' show as well. I mean, you're a Ravens fan. You might have some perspective that we quite don't have, but yeah, anyway. No, I think as far as like where he could go, I mean, I do feel like if a team's gonna take the risk, um, some like
It's got to be a team
team,
with lots of money, lots of cap
yeah, and
space.
probably like a team in your division, the NFC South,
Yeah.
because whoever gets him is going to be like the favorites automatically, I would think. Even the Falcons.
Well, at this point, the Falcons are probably the only team that could get
Well,
him.
probably not the
It's not like
Saints
Tampa has
because,
the money. Yeah,
yeah,
the
Saints aren't
Saints,
going to do
they got
it.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
And the Panthers have said no already. I mean, we just traded for that top pick, so we're definitely not going to trade for Lamar.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Houston makes an offer. Would he go there? Probably not, but that would be funny.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think y'all
Yeah.
should do that, but I mean, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like as cool as it would be to have Lamar on the team. I wouldn't want to like trade our two of our ones and pay him like all that
I
money.
mean, for the
Just
sake of being relevant, maybe it's worth it.
true. It's a good point. I just don't know if Lamar would do it.
Wait, so is Lamar actually leaving the Ravens or no? From Twitch chat. As of
I don't
now,
think he's
no. As of now,
not
no.
this year. I don't think
It's possible. So
it's
the way it works is he's got the non-exclusive franchise tag, so other teams can negotiate deals with him and try to sign him, and they'd have to give up their next two first-round picks. So as of now, he's a Raven, but other teams could come in and try to sign him.
exactly.
We don't think that will
Yeah,
happen. We think he's staying in Baltimore, but the door's open. It could happen.
and I haven't done my due diligence as to if this would make sense. But is there any chance Lamar just sits out this year?
I mean, I guess he could. I guess he could. I don't think that's a good way to go get your money. Go a year
Yeah.
without playing. I doesn't seem like the wisest strategy, but I guess he could. It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would, but I was just wondering, like, if he's so hard stuck on, like, I don't know, just like making sure, because, like, if like security's his option, I could see that. Because I think he would get offers even if he sat out a year. Because my other thing is, like, Deshaun sat out a year and a half and, like, he kind of stunk it up. Now, he could, like, resurrect his career, but it's not looking good for him. So,
Right.
I mean, I do think like yes, there is an injury risk associated always, but the odds of him having some career-ending injury are probably low. He could have like a season ending. He could have like like a season ending that carries over to next season, kind of like Brock Purdy's dealing with or Jimmy G deals with
Yeah, but
every
you
year.
don't want to
But
take that risk if possible.
yeah, but like I think the odds of just him like having some career-ending injury and then never getting like generational money again is like pretty low. So like he probably, and I don't know like financially like how much he'd get fined or if he'd like not be eligible for his franchise tag money if he sits out. I don't know any details about that, but you know, some food for thought.
Yeah.